Hey guys, what's up? WarPigmtg here, and this is some cockatrice gameplay. It is a legacy, and I'm playing a very janky, hilarious deck called Manaless Dredge. The way Manaless Dredge works is you use the natural discard step to your advantage by going second, so you drop to 8 cards. You don't have any mana, so you don't play anything. You discard a dredger and you begin dredging, and then you have things like Street Wraiths and Gitaxian Probes to speed up the dredges. So I'll keep. This is a great hand. We've got 3 things that make us go really fast with the Gitaxian Probe, and reveal top card to all players. It's a Shambling Shell. I think we've been found out, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to put that into our hand. End step, we're going to discard a Golgari Thug. And pass turn. Now, you will see the way this deck works. It's very similar to regular Dredge, except that, you know, basically just doesn't have any mana. So you use the accelerants through Street Wraith's cycle ability and Gitaxian Probe. They don't cost any mana. You just add 2 to your mana pool. Sorry, not 2 to your mana pool. I mean, you just pay 2 life. How did that end up there? Discard. This guy isn't familiar with the way Dredge works, but that's okay. Basically, when I go off, this deck usually wins by turn 3 or 4. This hand is actually really good, so we might even be able to do it turn 2, if we're lucky, if we cycle both of the Street Wraiths at the end of the turn and luckily get a Dredger. So we have a Dredger turn coming up, and he's going to suspend Rift Bolt. End of turn, I think we're going to try to cycle the Golgari Thug. We're going to pay 2 life. Street Wraith. And Dredge. Okay, so we're going to draw off the cycle. We're going to Dredge Golgari Thug. Unfortunately, he's not a Stinkweed Imp or a... We will get a Narcomoeba, though, and we do a Phantasmagorion. Our deck really starts working is when we have a Phantasmagorion in the yard, because what that lets us do is that we can then just dump pretty much everything. So 1, 2, 3. We got a Narcomoeba trigger. We're going to bring back Phantasmagorion by discarding 3 cards. So we will discard something like Bridge from Below, Golgari Thug. Bridge from Below. Bridge from Below, Golgari Thug. So these cards will go into the graveyard before the ability resolves, a Phantasmagorion returning to our hand, so he's still in our graveyard. We're going to cycle Street Wraith again. And play it on Golgari Thug. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring Golgari Thug back into our hand. Narcomoeba triggers. And before, in response, to the cycle effect, in response to the dredge effect, I mean, Phantasmagorion is still going to get returned to my hand, but I'm going to activate its ability again, therefore just discarding all my dredgers and returning Phantasmagorion into my hand. And now we're going to pass the turn. So in that way, through all of our accelerants, we did get 2 Narcomoebas on the field, and it's only like turn 2 or 3. So upkeep, we're going to look if we have any creatures we can bring back. No, not really. We have 3 Bridge from Below, so as soon as we draw like 1 Cabal Therapy, we're good to go. We're going to draw Dredge. We have a high Dredger. Stinkweed Imp is a really good card in this deck because he can get us 5 cards. So we're going to start dredging 1, 2, 3. All we need... Oh, alright. Narcomoeba's fine too. And there we go. So Narcomoeba's going to trigger. We dredge 2 Dread Returns and a Street Wraith. We have Flayer the Hatebound in there, and he's pretty darn good. What we're going to do now is we have 2 Flayer the Hatebounds, 2 Dread Returns. What we can do now is this. It's our main phase. We're going to flashback Dread Return. Since we have 3 Bridge from Bows, we're going to get a shit ton of zombie tokens. So we're going to get Dread Return. Its flashback is sacrifice 3 creatures. So we're going to sacrifice 3 Narcomoebas. Token. Black. Bring out zombie tokens. 3 times 3 is 9. So we're going to get 9 zombie tokens. We're going to exile Dread Return. We're targeted Flayer of the Hatebound with Dread Return. Bring it in. Since it came from the graveyard, it has its ability trigger. So he'll go to 4. Just going to go to our second main. Sack. 2 tokens, and he's just gonna scoop. But basically, you sack the 3 tokens. We bring back another Flayer the Hatebound, and they double trigger, and eventually we will kill him. And he just rage quit. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm sorry that I didn't talk too much. I will do a deck tech on this deck, a fastest deck tech, as soon as I'm able to assemble it. All I need right now is 2 more Bridge from Bows, but I have all of the other cards right here in real life. So I will show you how the deck looks in real life with a deck tech on it. But basically, it's a lot better than regular Dredge because it doesn't run really expensive mana cards. It's still a really good Dredge deck. Like, it doesn't have a lot of lands in it. It has no lands in it, save for 3 Dryad Arbors, which helps us with the sideboard. But the lands typically cost some money in Legacy, and that's where this deck shines because it has no expensive land in it. And because we have no land, we're able to just stuff as many dredgers as we can into the deck, therefore filling up all land slots with dredgers. So we run 4 of pretty much every dredger. We do have 3 Shambling Shell, but that's a weak dredger. But we have so many dredgers in this deck that the deck almost never mulligans because we have over 90% chance of drawing at least 1 dredger in our opening hand to discard. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you understood a little bit more Legacy, and hope you guys enjoyed the Legacy gameplay of one of the jankiest, best decks, and one of my favorite Legacy decks ever. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.